Good morning, Matt Delacruz here with the Winning Minds Group, part of the John Maxwell team, and welcome to Mondays with Matt. Happy Monday to you. Hope you had a great weekend. Looking forward to another extraordinary week this week as we wrap up the final week in the month of March. That's right, today's Monday, March 26th. And I give that to you because I want to make sure that you know where you are right now as we approach the last week of the first quarter. That's right, we played 81 games so far this year. That means we have 281 games left to play. And if you look back on it, if you were consistent in doing what you said you were going to do that last 81 days, I guarantee you'd be at a different level right now. But that's okay if you didn't, you got off track a little bit. That's one of the reasons why I really want to pour into you today, because I want you to do some time to reflect and make an adjustment in your game plan as you go into quarter two. Because, again, you can get yourself back on track and have a successful second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter. But what I don't want you to do is try to make up the first quarter. Focus on the future. Don't worry about the past, other than we can use it to invest it in the future, successes, failures, wins, and losses, etc. But I'm going to start this week off with a couple quotes, and one of them is I'm reading John Wooden's book, and I love this quote by him. He says, "Failure is not fatal, but failing to change might be." Think about that one. Another one I want you to ponder on is a John Maxwell quote. It says, the first person you lead is you, and the first organ you master is you. In other words, you got to master the mind. Because, again, in our circle of responsibility, we control 100% of how we think, how we feel, what we see, and what we do. And normally that's one of the reasons why we're not back on track. It's not because of outside conditions and circumstances. It's because somehow, some way, we broke the circle. So I want you this week to do a few things for me this week. And these are some of the exercises that I'm teaching in the upcoming Turning Point event. I want you to visualize the week as you go through it, from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. At work and at home, I want you just to use your imagination, and I want you to visualize, to see it. I want you to see yourself. In other words, see it, perceive it, and believe it, and you will achieve it. And that's a Think and Grow Rich Napoleon Hill phrase in that book. But I want you to do that because the mind doesn't know the difference between something it vividly imagines or something it actually experiences. So on Sunday, you got to visualize the 2 appointments a day, the closing, 90% closing ratio, the picking up the phone to making your 50 calls a day, to getting past the gatekeepers, to meeting with decision makers, to getting a PO or someone to say yes. You got to visualize that. Again, utilizing the law of attraction. Whatever you put out there comes back. Because most people, what they do is they don't think in the positive state. They don't imagine the positive thing. They always imagine the negative parts of it. Saying things like, "I probably won't be able to get through the call. They probably don't have the money, or they're probably already using somebody else and they're happy with them." And this is what we start imagining, and so we start developing this stinking thinking, and yet at the end of the day, we don't get the results that we're looking for. So I want you to do that. This week I want you to practice seeing the positive, seeing yourself going to the gym. I want to see yourself pouring good food into your body. I want you on Friday when you jump on the scale, you lost 4 or 5 pounds. It all starts on Monday. Because again, if you can see it, perceive it, and believe it, you will achieve it. So let's make this week, do 3 things for me this week. I want you to make practice an art. So I want you to make it practice. Perfect practice makes perfect, not practice makes perfect. I also want you to make sure that you go through it, and I want you to make sure that repetition is your addiction. I want you to make sure to say, I'm going to repeatedly go over and over and over again so it becomes a natural part of me. And the last thing I want you to make excellence your obsession. So let's go through this week. Let's live intentionally, live with passion, and let's go out there and make a difference, not only for ourselves, but let's go out there and make a difference for other people. Thanks so much. Make it a great week, and we'll talk to you next week.